Peace, family. In this video, we are going to be talking about the Scorpio new moon eclipse. And I don't know if you guys have been feeling it, but this energy is so intense. Scorpio season is always known to be intense. Scorpio season is always known to talk about Halloween, Day of the Dead, venerating our ancestors. And it's also the time when the veil is the most thinnest. So this is a really great time to tap into your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, and a lot of the spiritual entities on the other side. Some may believe in angels, guardians, whatever you believe in. This is the perfect time to tap into them, to ask for assistance, because the spirit world can't step in unless we ask for their help. And a lot of us, if you're like me, very self-independent, you like to do everything on your own, you don't like to ask for help, but that's what they're for. They're here to aid us and assist us in our journey. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the details of what this Scorpio new moon eclipse entails, how it will affect you, and also some rituals that you can do to utilize the power of this energy. So let's talk a little bit about why this new moon is a little bit different from any other regular new moon. It's going to be a solar eclipse new moon, which basically means since ancient times, the people of ancient civilizations always believed that eclipses represented resets or a new beginning or transformations. Some people saw it as a bad omen because it represented big change, sudden change. And the fact that this is the sign of Scorpio is known to be very intense, very heavy, likes to get really deep, is not superficial. So if you're the type of person that doesn't really like to go beneath the surface, who doesn't really like to look at your own flaws and work with your shadow, then you're going to have some really difficult times during this Scorpio new moon season. Especially the eclipse is going to be amplified, okay? So how many people in here have been feeling the intense energies? Let's say maybe there have been some arguments or some chaos in certain relationships, or maybe even you've been questioning your own existence, looking at your own life under a magnifying glass, and saying, you know what, am I really happy? Am I really doing what I love to do? Can I be doing something differently? And is it time for me to change? Scorpio is also, people know it as being the scorpion, but it's also the phoenix. And the phoenix is all about rebirth, transformation, and change. So this is a really good time where you want to look at your own life, try to look at it a little bit objectively, and ask yourself, you know what in my life needs changing right now? Where do I see myself being? Am I happy with the accomplishments that I've made thus far? And if so, how can I celebrate that? And how can I become better? How can I become more refined? So this is really about the time where you want to do some self-reflection, do some shadow work. Now, shadow work is not a fun thing to do, but it's necessary. It's kind of like when we go through our seasonal detoxes, right? To prepare our physical body to absorb the new energies for the new season. It's the same with shadow work, right? Every season or every so often, we get the opportunity from the universe, because the universe opens up certain pathways and gateways that allow certain energies to move more freely and more rhythmatically, if that's a word, going along the rhythms of the universe, right? So I wrote down some pointers because I didn't want to forget some of the things that I wrote, and I'm going to read off some of these things, right? So we already covered that the Scorpio new moon is going to be intense, and it's going to be about working with shadow work. Shadow work is pretty much, to simplify it, even though you can't really simplify shadow work, it's writing down all of the things that make you uncomfortable. Because when we're not aware of our shadow, sometimes that shadow can come up and sabotage our life. It can sabotage our relationships. It can sabotage our business. It can sabotage our money. It can sabotage just our livelihood. So the key in shadow work is to be aware of your shadow and to be able to identify when certain triggers come up and how to better respond instead of react. When we react to something, we are not in control of our emotions or our behavior. When we respond to something, we've actually taken time to sit back, reflect, and think, how should I take action in this moment? It's more controlled. You have the control. So that's what shadow work is really about. It's about gaining back control of yourself and being more intentional with your life instead of things just happening by accident. But there's no accidents in the universe, right? Everything is coincidental or has a consequence, cause and effect. Now, this is a time of self-discovery. Now, if you've been feeling like a lot of the energies around you have been kind of chaotic and things been falling apart and you've been feeling like, yo, why is all of this happening to me right now? What's happening is that the parts of you that are no longer serving you, that you've outgrown, maybe it could be a job, maybe that job isn't serving you anymore, maybe a certain relationship isn't serving you, maybe certain habits aren't serving you anymore. So now the Scorpio new moon eclipse is giving you the encouragement and the opportunity to let go of these things. New moons is about new beginnings. So do you really ask yourself, with this eclipse, eclipses have the power to have a strong influence for the next 6 months, right? Ask yourself, what do you see yourself for the next 6 months? Who do you want to be? How do you want your life to look? Really sit down, take time out of your day and meditate and visualize with your mind's eye, what is it that you want? A lot of the times we're so focused on everybody else's wants and needs, but we tend to neglect ourselves. So your life is only going to be as successful as its foundation. The foundation being you. You are the foundation of your universe, as within, so without. So if there's an imbalance inside of you, then your life is going to reflect that, right? You can tell a lot about a person based upon how they keep their home. If their home is dirty, chaotic, and just a mess, that's a reflection of what's going on inside of their mind, inside of their body, inside of their heart, inside of their spirit. That's why they have this saying that says, cleanliness is godliness. Because when you're organized and you're clean and you're structured and you're in an environment that is productive, it makes you feel more uplifted, more light, more happy, more energetic, and more optimistic about life and opportunities that come your way. Now, when we talk about renovating your life, we're talking about new moons. I have this habit of always cleaning before the new moon. I throw out things I don't need. I look through you can look through your files, look through your phone, delete contacts you don't need anymore, delete whatever it is, like clear out your emails, declutter your home, throw out old clothes, because this is a time when you really want to shed that old stuff, right? You can't buy a new wardrobe if your closet is full of old stuff you don't wear anymore. You got to clear that stuff out. Stop holding on to things that really don't have any meaning for you anymore. You've outgrown that. Also, I want to talk about creating the new you, right? This Scorpio new moon eclipse is an opportunity for you to create the new version of you. What does that look like? Where do you see yourself living, right? How do you see yourself looking? How do you want to dress? What type of friendships or circles do you want to roll in? Look at your social circle very closely, because they say that the 5 people that you interact with the most is going to have the most impact on your life. If you are associated with people who don't have any goals, who don't have any ambitions, who have nothing going on for themselves, who are pessimistic, they don't look at life optimistically, and they're just like an anchor in your life, you really have to be honest with yourself and say, do these people in my social circle serve me? Right? This is some homework to do. When you get a chance, preferably sometime tonight, because the new moon energy is already affecting us, get a piece of paper and write down, matter of fact, make like a diagram. Make a circle, right? And in the center of that circle, you're going to put a dot. And in that dot, you're going to put your name. That's you. That circle that's around that dot represents your social circle. And in that social circle, you want to write down all of the people that's in your life that you interact with the most. It should be at least 5 people, right? And ask yourself, how do these people impact my life, and how do I impact theirs? Because this is not just about you. This is also about your influence on other people. When you look at these people, you'll ask yourself, you know what, am I giving more in this relationship than what I'm receiving? Or am I taking more than what I'm giving? This is an exercise I love to do, and I always tell my clients about, that this helps you to identify who's in your circle that's an anchor in your boat and who's there helping you along the line, like in that sailboat, moving forward, going past obstacles. Who's there holding you down? Who can you call when you really having issues? Who can you confide your deepest things to, right? Which should really be like your therapist. I think so. But we need that social circle, because we are only as powerful as the company that we keep. And also, the number one relationship that you should have in your life is you. What is your relationship to yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you talk about yourself? Renovating your life. Now, if this social circle that you have, that you've drawn out, and you're not happy about it, it's time to start making some new acquaintances, some new friends, some new business partnerships, and even a new family. Now, I know y'all like, wait, a new family? Hold on, wait, Conjure Queen. I don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes it could be your own family dragging you down. Brother, sister, uncle, mother, father, auntie, whatever. You have to be honest with yourself and say, do these people serve me? Is this relationship bringing me down? Because what happens is when you have those people around you that's tearing you down bit by bit, it starts to hit your self-esteem. It hits your confidence. And when you lose self-esteem and confidence, then everything else around you will crumble. Confidence is key. Never forget that. You can manifest things much more quickly, more powerfully when you believe in yourself, when you have a strong sense of self and confidence, and you know that no matter what happens, you're going to be good. When you have that sense of confidence, then the universe just opens up to you and blessings start pouring out. Moving forward. Now, I want to talk a little bit about business, right? This Scorpio new moon is also going to affect career, business, money. How do you make your money? What's your relationship to money? Some people work for money. But as I always tell my clients, you have to learn to, at one point, make money work for you. That's the difference between the poor and the rich. The rich have learned the formula to make money work for you. This Scorpio new moon is going to really make you reanalyze your relationship to money, your relationship to your work, your business. And this is also a great time to start to create new ideas for your career, new ideas. How can you improve your business? How can you expand brand awareness? How can you get more clients, more customers? How can you get better sales? How can you just make your overall economic being better? The Scorpio new moon might even close some doors. And I'm going to be real here. I'm not going to sit here and say everything's going to be all sweet and cute with the Scorpio new moon, but you got to be mindful of what you want, because the higher self is always guiding us to where we need to be. And sometimes we can tend to hold on to a job so long because maybe this is what we've been identified with, right? First thing people ask you when you go to a social event or you meet somebody new, they ask you, what do you do? Right? And I personally hate this question because sometimes it can have hidden agendas behind that question, because people could be sizing you up, seeing how much money you make, your lifestyle. And then sometimes people identify you with your career or with your job title, right? Like, oh, you know, my name is so-and-so and I'm an accountant. My name is so-and-so and I'm a nurse. My name is so-and-so and I'm a doctor. Or my name is so-and-so and I'm a customer service support person. But that's not who you are. That's what you do. That's an aspect of your vocation, right? So this Scorpio new moon is going to really make you re-identify yourself, because if you identify only with the business that you do, let's say, you know, people know you as being an astrologer, but you're tired of doing astrology. You feel like, you know what, you want to expand past that. Maybe you want to start taking on business coaching. Maybe you want to start taking on, I don't know, art, or you want to go into a whole different direction. But because people have put you in this box and labeled you as like, oh, well, this is so-and-so and this is what they're known as, people may feel uncomfortable about this new change that you make. And that readjustment process is not going to be easy. And that's why it takes a lot of self-healing, self-care, and that every day just empowering yourself, knowing that you're making the right decision. That's where the confidence comes from. Because whenever we're changing careers or we're changing lifestyles or we're changing who people know us to be, it makes other people uncomfortable, because most human beings are not cool with change. Everybody likes things to be the same and comfortable, but you don't grow in comfortability. That's what this whole Scorpio intense new moon eclipse energy is about. It's about shaking things up, saying, look, this is the stuff that don't serve you. Let this go if you want to grow. Okay? Point blank, period. Now, a little bit about health. Your health will also be affected during this new moon, Scorpio new moon eclipse. Reason being, let's say, for instance, if you're not happy with how your body feels, if you feel like you can be healthier, there are options to literally change your life. You can change significantly with just focus and consistently if you just stick to this whole 30-day new moon. Even though the new moon is really 28. But using the months, the Gregorian months that most of the world uses this day, what you can do is say, you know what, this new moon, I'm setting the intention to be more healthy. And don't go dramatic and start going on like just drinking juices and not eating healthy and cutting out all of the junk food that you like, because that's exactly how you go back to the old eating habits. You have to incorporate these new eating habits into your old ones. You have to learn how to transition smoothly. That's what Scorpio is all about. It's about that intense transformation. Sometimes things can happen suddenly. With health, talking about sudden, you might notice or you might get news or word of like some health condition that you have or something that you need to heal or focus on, to remedy, to repair. It can be any type of issue. Sometimes it can represent injury. Breaking a bone or fracturing something or pulling a muscle, something that's going to make you sit down and relax, especially if you're the type of person that's always on the go and never take time to sit down and reflect on your life. Life goes through rhythms, and there's a time to act and there's a time to rest, and you have to know your inner rhythm and figure out what works best for you. That's the best key to productivity. It's not to be busy, it's to be productive and balanced. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the spiritual aspect. Now, this Scorpio season is always known as being spooky season or spiritual season. This is when the veil is very thin. Some of you have probably been seeing shadow people in the corner of your eye, having crazy intense dreams. This new moon solar eclipse is really going to make your dreams very vivid, okay? And if it's not even tonight or tomorrow, sometime during this time, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to visions, and pay attention to the signs all around you, because the universe, spirits will be talking to you. And it may not be like I'm sitting here talking to you guys now. Sometimes it could be telepathically. Some of you are watching this right now are telepathic and don't even know it. Sometimes you can read people's minds and not even know that you're reading their minds. You think it's just an intuitive thought, but a lot of the times you're on point. So psychic abilities will be very, very intense at this time. If you're already a psychic, I would say to ground yourself, to use certain protections, of course, as you always should do. And to really at this time, you want to have clarity. Don't make any wishes or intentions without having clarity, because if you know, you got to be careful what you wish for, because the universe will provide. So be very detailed on what you want, visualize what you want for yourself, the lifestyle that you want to have, and then it will happen. But you also have to take the steps forward to create that. If you want a better body, if you want to be happy about yourself, if you're not happy with how you look, then do something to fix it, right? If you're not happy with your relationships, then it's time to renovate and to cut people off or keep your distance, right? You don't have to just be like, look, I don't want to talk to you no more. You're not serving me. Goodbye, blocked. Some people do that, but I wouldn't say burn bridges, because you never know. People can change. This person can change their whole life around, and someday you might need to get help from that person. So you just be honest and transparent. You can distance the conversations. You can distance yourself a little bit, and if they notice the energy, you can just simply tell them, you know what, I'm doing some healing right now, and I'm focusing on myself, and I'm really analyzing what's best for me. And if they're a really good friend, or if they're whoever they are to you, if they really love you, they'll understand, and they'll give you the space that you need. But if they start to badger you and make you feel guilty for choosing yourself, then that's just clarification and validation that this person is not for you. Things will be revealed. The truth will be revealed during this time. Okay, Scorpio is all about revealing the shadows of people and revealing things that have been hidden for a long time. So some things about you might be aware of that you never knew. Family secrets or whatever it may be. It will start to come up at this time. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about like how to work with the ancestors, this is the time where people are really working with their spirit guides, working with the ancestors, but some people are still questioning, why am I not getting results? Why are my ancestors not talking to me? How do you know when your ancestors are trying to communicate with you? How do you set up an altar? How do you feed them? How do you venerate them? And I always say, like, I have a whole entire ancestor veneration workshop in my site that helps you do all of those things and more, with rituals, practical results, all of that stuff, step by step, holding your hand through the process. So if you're curious about that, I do have a special right now. It's a coupon. All you got to do is put Scorpio New Moon, all caps, and you'll get discount. Now this discount ends on Wednesday of this week. So you have until then to use that coupon code, and you'll get discounted on the ancestor veneration and also spiritual and mediumship class. People who have psychic abilities, but maybe your family was religious and maybe they didn't teach you how to use your gifts. So some people who have gifts who've never been taught how to use it, they think it's a curse because they can see things and they know things that other people can't, and they feel like they're crazy. You're not crazy. It's just that you haven't had the proper training, or you never had the proper teacher or mentor to show you how to use these gifts. So that's the spiritual and mediumship class. Teaches you all of that stuff. So that way you can be better protected and you know what you're doing when you tap into the spiritual world, right? What else I wanted to talk about? Oh, and moon magic. Now, moon magic is very powerful because it allows you to tap into the power of the moon. Since ancient times, our ancestors utilized the power of the moon to manifest things. The moon has a very significant influence in our life, in our moods, in our thoughts, in our actions, in our energy levels. It affects the nature around us, right? It also affects business and money. A lot of these powerful businesses and companies that exist today, they all have an astrologer, or they have some type of spiritual person that's telling them when is the best time to make business moves. If you really want your business to take off, if you really want your career to take off, you will follow the cycles of the moon, because each moon mansion, each moon cycle, each degree has certain power and influence. They talk about this since ancient times. Okay, so all of that you get discounts, guys, with the Scorpio new moon, all caps. That's the coupon code. Okay, and the link is in my bio for those who finish watching this. Click the link in my bio, IamConjureQueen.com. That's my website, and go to classes and you will see. And also for those who are new to me, if you just sign up to my website, you get a free coupon code towards any service that you want. So yes, family, that's pretty much the gist of it. Oh, the ritual that I want to give you before I go. So the Scorpio new moon eclipse, it has a 4-hour window. It's going to start sometime tonight around 2 a.m. Pacific time. And the peak is going to be at 4 p.m. Peak basically meaning like the strongest point. And then at 6 a.m. that's pretty much like when the energy is going to start waning. Now, the energy is going to be intense throughout. You're still going to feel the after effects even after that window is closed. But what I would say is during that window, most people are going to be asleep. But if you're going to be up at that time, you want to write down your intentions. Everything that we talked about in this video, how do you want your life to look? Don't think about the things you want to release. Think about who you want to become. What career do you want to have? Financially, how do you want to be? Look at your life. What type of circles or social circles you want to be in? Visualize all of that. Write it down on paper, and don't burn this paper. Keep this paper, and I want you to put it somewhere where you can see it every day. Visualize and look at that paper every day. So that way you're consciously and subconsciously programming yourself and telling the universe, this is what I will, this is what I want, this is what I will have. But you say it in present tense, of course, right? I have this. I am successful. My business is thriving. I am healthy. I am strong. I am confident. I am focused on my success. Everybody around me supports me. They love me. I am surrounded by genuine people who have the best intentions for me. The universe provides for me. I have no wants or needs because I have everything that I need. I am good. I am protected, and all of my path to a success is open. Opportunities come to me abundantly. People of high places and high power seek my advice and my counsel. Things like that. So that's just a little idea of what you can write, what you can affirm. Write it down on paper, make it real, get it out of your mind, put it in the physical. That's the first step to creating things real. That's why they call it spells, because literally spells are words, incantations. Write it down, you say it out loud, you believe it, and it happens. Ashe. So that's about it, family. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, show your love, and also if you have any questions, drop it down in the comment section. Happy new moon in Scorpio. This eclipse is going to be crazy. Have a good night, family, and pay attention to your dreams because they will be intense tonight, and some ancestors may even come and visit you. Peace. Take care.